are anonymous. We are legion.
Hegelian dialectic definition. Let's get back to the activities of the dark side of the elite class, for there is power in knowledge. Their operation depends on most of the people being thoroughly deceived most of the time. If we learn their methods, we can recognize their schemes before they play out, thereby countering the deception. When enough people know what's going on, their agenda will be foiled simply through exposure and knowledge. Named after Georg Hegel, the late German philosopher, the Hegelian dialectic is also known as thesis, antithesis, synthesis, or ordo ab chao, Latin for order from chaos, the motto of 33rd degree Freemasons. But that all sounds much more complex than it really is. It's also known as problem reaction solution, and that's the easiest way to understand how it works. It's just a simple three-step process. 1. Problem. 2. Reaction. 3. Solution. It goes like this. The elite class, they secretly want society in general to change the way it thinks about a certain issue. They have a long-term agenda, and they want to control and guide the direction that society takes through history. Let's say they want society to go in direction A. But direction A is currently the exact opposite direction that any sane member of society would even think of going, and the vast majority would fiercely oppose anyone even suggesting it. So they don't suggest it, or even have a politician mention it, other than to just test the waters. Instead, they go through the 3 steps above. First, they create a problem, a big problem, maybe a terrorist event or a natural disaster or a racial or mass killing, or they foment a riot and spread it to some nearby states or countries. This big problem could be created very directly, such as by training someone and then sending them in to do the dirty work, or very indirectly by simply creating the conditions that will, in time, cause the desired problem to erupt. Or sometimes they will just take advantage of a problem that comes about seemingly at random. After the big problem occurs, they cover it intensely all day long on the news for many weeks. And everyone is glued to their TVs, wanting to know all the details of what it means for their families, their homes, their jobs, their future, and taking in the programming the whole time. This brings on the desired and designed reaction in the people, a thorough and lasting change in the mindset of society. Once the reaction has fully blossomed and the people are all longing and begging for a solution, any solution, just end this, fix this, please. Then they, under the guise of benevolent government, bring on the solution. The solution just perfectly so happens to be direction A, which most of society now very happily accepts, now that their world has been turned upside down and inside out by this big problem, and their thinking has been molded by the weeks of intensely controlled and manipulated media coverage. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming every problem directly on them. Sometimes somebody with a gun or a bomb goes berserk just due to the escalating level of oppression in general and or the increasing use of psychiatric drugs. And sometimes natural disasters do happen naturally. But a problem is a problem whether they created it or not, and they will jump to take advantage of it.
We are Shogun-sek. You should have expected us.